I know, like, so, like I said, I was listening to the weekly podcast a while back, and y'all were talking a lot about like kind of the casual fan versus the purist, and like, do you think? I feel like, in my opinion, from what I see on social media and just everything, it seems like people draw a hard line between casual and pure. Do
Hmm.
you see that as well?
Yeah.
Or
Well, hold on. Well, can you explain that more?
Yeah, like, the racing purist, like for instance, Seth, like, hates playoffs, hates,
Mm.
wants more horsepower, wants it doesn't, I guess, buy into the entertainment side of things. The way I kind of look at it is like IndyCar, for instance, it's almost like the perfect for like the racing purist, but we don't see like they don't get the ratings because it's not, I guess, as entertaining, quote unquote.
Hmm.
Um, but as the casual fan, obviously NASCAR's been chasing forever that, would, I guess, love the playoffs, I guess. Um, I feel like there's a lot of people that think that there's a hard line between those two. You're
Oh,
this or you're that.
yeah. I don't think you can really be in between. Like, it's hard, right? Because I don't know. It's like I feel like yeah, NASCAR is trying to find a balance with all of this
Yeah.
stuff. They've been adding, but I don't know. They just keep missing the mark. Like they have the car. Like the car is good. They just need to tweak a few things on it, and then I think it'll be perfect. They just need to either keep the playoffs forever or
Yeah.
get rid of them entirely. Like I mean, because they've changed the points so much over the years that it's like you can't keep changing it over and over and over again.
Hmm.
So if they're gonna do, if you're gonna keep this elimination stuff,
Yeah.
then hey, just hey, keep it, But then I don't know. I just feel like there's a few things that need to be modified with it to make it better, and
Hmm.
I don't know, just less drivers to me. Like I feel like that's a small change. Like just have less drivers, and if you want to do it
Yeah.
sort of the same way, then go ahead. But yeah, NASCAR they put themselves in that position though, so they either can keep the current playoffs or they have to get rid of it entirely.
Yeah.
So for what is it called? For championship legitimacy,
Mhm.
basically.
Yeah. See, I kind of feel like I live in the middle of that. What do you
Yeah,
think? What do you think,
it's
Seth?
it's
Oh,
So I
sorry.
hard.
think
It's hard though.
Yeah.
I think you live. I think you are center toward entertainment though, because God bless do you complain when a race is not the most entertaining thing in the world. So I think you are
That's
on.
bull malarkey.
It's
But
not. You are on
I
that
never
spectrum.
I've never heard that word before. Boomermarky.
Malarkey.
bull
Yeah.
malarkey. Oh,
No, not
dude.
Bolamarky. No, I never heard of that one.
Oh yeah, you got to put that one in your bank. I want
Yeah.
to hear that on the net. I want to hear that first show next year. I want to hear bull malarkey on there.
Yeah. I'll
Um,
try and fit it in.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it was Brett Griffin that said we're a marketing company that happens to be racing. So it's like I get like that you gotta, I guess, spice things up a little bit. But yeah, I'm kind
Yeah.
of, I don't know. You gotta make it legit, like you said. And I feel like there's a lot more people that live in the middle than I think people think.
Living
Like,
in the middle is one thing, but we have so many gimmicks that it's hard for the
yeah,
casual to even follow.
yeah,
So
Hmm. It's
that's
hard for them to understand it. Yeah. It's
yeah. I
hard.
mean, the amount of times I've had to issue explaining a concept to somebody in NASCAR, like playoffs,
yeah.
like they're like that is ungodly, needlessly complicated. But
Well, yeah, and that I feel like that kind of leans into like the race. I don't know. I kind of look at the fan base like this. Like you got your racing purists over here, and they're a large majority, but I feel like a lot of people live in that middle, and then you have like the casual fan. I feel like that's like icing on the cake and a
Yeah.
blowjob, like essentially for NASCAR. Like, um, and I feel like if we could figure out, if we make the people in the middle, I feel like they're not going to leave the sport. They love the sport. People, the
No.
purists, they're like, I feel like David Land, like back in the 90s when NASCAR was like the greatest thing ever, David Land watched it a lot more. I feel like David didn't have to do content on it. He wouldn't watch NASCAR hardly at all. And that's just from experience with him.
Yeah.
But I feel like if we could just I feel like there's a way we can make these playoffs like if just playoffs are just the, I feel like that's the main topic and main, hot button for purists and, that argument there. I feel like if we could just make it legit, but also keep them like to where it's like the right guys are in, you're eliminating the right guys, but you don't have
Yeah.
the Chase Briscoes of the world, and that
Hmm.
way
And
the
also, and
Alec, what's her
also,
name?
don't forget Matt Crafton's too, not winning a single race at all.
Hey, that's
Those guys.
fine. You don't
Yeah.
win a race the whole year. I mean, you got as long as Matt Kenseth could have won the playoffs without a
Yeah.
win.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. Could have.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we need to. I don't know. I was something I was thinking about in the shower the other day. I was
Among
like,
other things.
yeah. I mean, I feel like you have David Land, and then you have what's her name, the TikTok girl that said Dale Jr. was dead.
Oh
Alex
yeah.
Bennett or whatever.
Yeah.
And I feel like
That's
if you
right.
could, you got to keep the in between of them happy.
Yeah. Totally get it.
Seth, you
No,
look
that's funny.
confused.
I'd never seen this TikTok, so I'll have to look it up.
It wasn't
No.
a TikTok. It was a Barstool Sports.
That's what it
video.
is.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. I mean,
That's funny.
I don't know. I feel like that's just a larger than life conversation in race fans right now. And I don't know. I just want everybody to be happy, man. I understand we like,
Good luck with that.
Hey, man. Look, yeah. I mean, that's asking a lot.
Oh my god.
But Darian, I want to ask you about this. How did you get into racing?
Well, my parents are from Virginia, so we moved out. They moved out to Las Vegas when I was younger, and then I've been watching it ever since, and since first grade, because my mom
Yeah.
had it on the television.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, that's how I got into it, man. Yeah, been
Yeah.
watching ever since.
Is your mom a race fan?
Yeah, yeah. She was
Yeah.
a big Dale Senior fan, and then Dale Junior fan, and then that rubbed off on me, and then
Mhm.
was a fan of his until he retired, and then ever since I started the channel back in 2018, and I've just
Yeah.
been watching the sport ever since.
Okay, cool. So was it your mom or your dad or just mainly your mom?
Oh, just my mom.
Yeah, I
mainly
know
my
that's a
mom.
weird question, but I'm just saying my mom was the reason I got into the sport. She
Yeah.
was a big Dale Earnhardt fan back in the
Yeah.
day. That's cool. We need more race moms in the sport. Yeah, and I mean, how did you go about starting the channel? Like, what made you think, I'm going to start a YouTube channel and talk about this? Like,
I don't know. It's just I had a lot of opinions, and I just
Mhm.
wanted an outlet to express them, and also make history videos too, discussing
Yeah.
the history of motorsports and not just NASCAR. I've been venturing out into some other forms of racing as well, talk about their histories too. And yeah, no, it's gonna be 5 years next month that
Yeah.
I've been doing it, so it's crazy. Like I've been doing this for half a decade. Like that's insane.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of that's what we did. We were just like, we have opinions. We want everyone to know them, whether
Yeah.
they're good or not. But I mean, we love what you're doing over there. I mean, what's what's next? What do you see this like taking you? What's the end goal, I guess, or what's the
I don't know, like I'm just going along for the ride at this point. I'm just finishing up my degree in the process, and then after I get my communications degree, I can put this on my resume saying like, hey, like I mean, because technically a channel is technically like a small business, because I am
Yeah.
making, some money off of it currently, and then I can use that on my resume like, hey, I've done this before,
Yeah.
here's what I've done, like. And so that'll be a part of it, whatever I decide to do, at that point. But yeah, right now it's just, just keep making videos. And then, this year I've been heavy on trying to be credentialed media for some races, and some
Mhm.
tracks have allowed me in, some haven't. And yeah,
Nice.
just have to keep doing it next year and see if I can get credentialed to more races. Just keep covering them.
Yeah. Now, what I know you're doing some stuff with the fairgrounds. Tell me about that.
Yeah, no, that was the deal. I was able to email somebody up there, and then what happened was they'd gotten back to me, much to my surprise, and they were like, "Hey, we saw your channel and stuff. Can you do this and that?" And yeah, I've been, helping them out, with like interviews and all that stuff, and just PR, that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. And yeah, no, it's been an awesome experience, and getting to meet new people up there and stuff. And yeah, no, it's been cool. And then that track has so much history though too, and there are some good things and bad things about that track, but for the most
Mhm.
part, it's definitely one of the best short tracks in the country. And then also the news, it might get renovated too. Like,
Yeah.
the government out here might pass, some stuff to get it renovated. As I think the renovations were like 18 million proposed. So I can't wait to see what that place will
That's
look like
pocket
with
change.
that much money. Yeah, but for that track, that's like the holy grail for that track if you've seen
Yeah.
certain parts of it.
Now you say the good and bad. What do you see the challenges being in getting that done?
Well, I mean, obviously the neighbors, the people who
Oh
live
yeah,
by there, not all of them are gonna like
the
it,
lady
number
with the
one.
cats.
Yeah, like so
Yeah.
not all of them are gonna like it, but then also the second part of that is like, I mean, it is run down in some parts too. So
Mhm.
it's like, are you gonna be able to get enough seats to the Cup Series standards in that thing? And then also too, like, what are you gonna do about some of the neighboring parts outside of there too? Because
Yeah.
there's a soccer stadium right by it.
Yeah.
And then also they're currently building low income apartments
Mhm.
right in between the soccer stadium and the fairgrounds. So it's like if you do renovate it and all that stuff, then I don't know, like will those people complain about it too? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So yeah, nothing's perfect, but like, I think for the most part though, I think it can get done. I think a
Yeah.
deal can get done eventually.
Shit, I guess I'm low income. Like shit. I'd love a
Yeah,
racetrack like right there. I could walk to the
yeah.
track, save on gas that Seth buys most of the time. Like it's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, I was thinking about. I'm like, my lease is up. Are they going to be done in time as soon as my lease is up next year? But then, nah, they're not. And then also, I saw like some renderings of the place too, and I'm like, nah, I don't want to live there.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh
I'm
man.
good.
Yeah.
There's a reason the rent's going to be cheap there, so I'm like, nah,
Oh, okay. I
yeah.
guess that's a given. Like some
Yeah.
like we have here is
Mhm.
Section 8. Is that like a just a North Carolina thing, or is that like everywhere? Is that what that is?
Uh, I don't know. I think everybody has their own little,
Oh, okay.
Section 8s.
Oh,
Yeah, I think
okay.
every
I didn't
town
know.
does. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I was wondering. That'd be funny. It's just a
Yeah.
section of which I don't know. I feel like there's we proved with Wilkesboro. It doesn't. I don't know what the capacity is there, but like I feel like we proved with Wilkesboro we don't need a ton of seats, and that's out in the middle
Mm-mm.
of BFE. There's definitely some
Nah.
low income out there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But yeah,
there's no people aren't like that close to each other in North Wilkesboro either.
I guess
oh
yeah, you got a point. Yeah,
yeah.
you got a point there. You ever been out there to Wilkesboro?
No, I have not. I might be out there next year, not for the All-Star race, maybe for some other stuff too.
Yeah.
Because the company I've been doing the fairgrounds with, Track Enterprises, like they have some other tracks or whatever, and right now
Yeah.
they have or no, excuse me, they don't have North Wilkesboro on their thing, but they have a series that races on North Wilkesboro,
Hmm.
the Cars Tour. So
Yeah.
I might do some stuff for them as far as social media stuff, but that's not a guarantee. I have to see how everything plays out. But
Yeah.
no, next year, hopefully I'll be making some moves next year. We'll see.
Yeah. See, the car store, I want to, it just came out with the schedule recently. I almost have considered trying to follow the car store around because, like,
It's
all the
really
tracks are,
underrated.
yeah.
It's
And all,
underrated, yeah.
like, I mean, last night, I mean, obviously we won the car store, but last night we went to, saw late model stocks with Junior, and then, they raced at Wilkesboro, the late models there. It's awesome, dude. Like,
Yeah, no, it's cool.
it is cool as shit. Like, and I
Hmm.
think that's something cool that Junior's doing. It's like it brought my eyes to it. Like, I want to go around and cover the damn series if I can, because especially
Yeah.
there.
No, I've seen some races there at the fairgrounds. Like they're really
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Um, one last thing before we go. I told you about it before we wanted to talk.
Hmm.
I wanted to talk about 2020. Obviously, that was
Uh,
it was a wild year to say the least. There's some hot topics. One of them being kind of racial injustice, and it kind of bled into NASCAR a little bit. I just wanted to kind of just get your point of view from things as far as like what has NASCAR done to do better on that front, because I feel like you're about the only person I know that could really relate to it and see the actual change to it. I mean, just some dumb white guy from over here. Like I'm
nah,
not gonna
nah.
see as much, but
I get. I feel
yeah,
you. I feel you. But no, I mean they're doing a good job.
yeah,
They. I don't know. Like it was. A little bit. It was definitely late on banning the Confederate flag. I had been saying that for years, you know, because I'm from Las Vegas. So like you tell people you watch NASCAR, that's like one of the first things they think about. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, dude. Like, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. That's right. Like this
Yeah.
flag is like associated with it. It's like they needed to ban that years ago. And
Yeah.
you know, it might have brought in some fans, some newer fans years ago and stuff. But no, I mean, just going through all that stuff, that was crazy. That was a crazy year in general. But with all the stuff that was happening, like it was nuts. Like just seeing all
Yeah.
the stuff online and all this stuff, and then you know, like somebody even found like my friggin' mom's address and stuff or whatever. Yeah, no, this was
What
true.
the
Oh
fuck?
yeah, I had tweeted that at the time. Yeah, no, somebody had called me and Bruno, or they didn't call me. Excuse me. Somebody
Yeah.
had basically found my parents' home address, basically my childhood home, and then they also were friggin' like sending Jarrett some stuff too. So it was a crazy time. It was a crazy time. Yeah, and this was like right after the
What the
whole Bubba
fuck?
Wallace stuff had happened.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I was tweeting about it, and yeah, we even had to talk to the FBI at the time. So
I
yeah,
do
that's
remember
how
y'all
crazy it was.
y'all were talking about this at either
Oh,
Bristol or
Yes.
Indy or
yeah.
something. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a real thing that happened, and you know, unfortunately, but looking back, I mean, it's definitely a story to tell at the very least. But yeah, no, at the time, it was awful. But
Yeah.
no, I think NASCAR they're still making a ton of strides. I mean, with
Mhm.
the diversity program, and then
Yeah.
you know, we're starting to you know develop some talent too, like you know, Rajak Karuf,
Yeah.
we were just talking about earlier, and then yeah, there's some younger guys who are on the rise as well. And then I don't know, we're starting to see in the industry a lot of people of color working there too.
Mhm.
So I mean, you know, obviously you got to do it within. You got to start you know from within as well, and then
Yeah.
it'll progress over time.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, I think it's just a matter of you know can younger people in general get into racing more, and we're
Yeah.
seeing that some with Formula One, but their marketing's top notch though. So
Yeah.
it doesn't matter how boring their races are because I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, their cars are so spread out, they're so long to like, yeah, I mean, a lot of the races can be snooze fest sometimes, but the way they market the sport is top notch. So we got to do that. And then I think
Yeah.
if NASCAR does that, and with all the stuff they've been doing with diversity recently, it can grow again. I mean, we can have a cycle where maybe it can rival the peak years, or
Yeah.
maybe we might not never return to that. But
Mhm.
nah, we can. It's definitely moving in the right direction. And but yeah, going through all that stuff, it's you know, I'm still a racing fan, so it didn't turn me off
Yeah.
at all. It's just you're gonna have dumb people say dumb stuff all the time. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, but at the time, dealing with all that stuff was pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's something that like, I've just always wondered, it's one that I guess I can't really relate to, and it's like it's
Hmm.
something I want to be more aware of and how to like help if I can, because it's like just specifically like the Bubba News thing. It's like there's so many like things that were so much false information out there that like
Yeah,
even
like he that yeah, some people saying he planted it or he
yeah
found it, you know, or like he, you know, did all, you know, this and that or whatever. I mean, look, Bubba Wallace isn't, I mean, he's not the perfect guy by any means or whatever.
yeah
There were some choices I think he could have done better with like, you know, with the aftermath of it, you
yeah
know, and the way he, you know, explained it and all that stuff. And yeah, but I mean, he didn't find it though. It's not like he planted it. Like people
yeah
kept comparing him to Jesse Smollett and stuff. And I'm like,
oh
no, Jesse
yeah
Smollett's a piece of shit. Like Bubba Wells was just his guy happened to find it, and then you
yeah
know it was revealed it had been there and stuff. So
hmm
it was just crazy. It was just one of the most craziest coincidences. But unfortunately, like you know,
people
the way
don't do
NASCAR handled
research.
it. Yeah, I mean, people don't do research, but also the way NASCAR handled it. I mean, handled
Yeah,
it
they
as well.
didn't.
You know, like they could have done a much better job because now, unfortunately, Bubba Wallace, like whether it's you know,
Yeah,
even though we know it's false, he keeps getting labeled by that. Unfortunately,
yeah,
so it is
yeah.
what
I
it is.
mean, I was talking to a guy the other day. He's not a racing fan by any means, and I mentioned something. It was actually a couple weeks ago when everything was going down at Vegas, and
Hmm.
he had no idea that he was like, yeah, I thought like that I thought he found it, and then they found out it was fake. I was like, no, that's not what happened at all. And
Um,
it's just like I wish that's one thing. It's like I wish NASCAR would do a better job at things like that.
hmm.
Like just I feel like there's so many. It doesn't have to be that type of situation, but I feel like there's
Yeah.
so many hot topics that come out of NASCAR where the waters are very murky on how, you know, what's real and what's fake as far as like
Mhm.
everything. And that's just something I, you know, want to see done better in the
Yeah.
sport.
Yeah, but I
And
mean, one thing you can do to help is, just don't be a piece of shit, basically. Just don't be a
yeah,
racist and whatever. Just be yourself, be genuine and stuff, and then
yeah,
then that's
It's
it,
gonna be
really.
incredibly hard for some people.
yeah,
Yeah, that's too much to ask. It's too much to ask for some people. Yeah, you're right.
yeah. It's like I've learned it's like it's so hard to bridge that gap
Mhm.
between some
Yeah.
people. It's like you really found out who people were in that time,
Mhm.
and it's really bad
Pretty
because
much.
it's still like that, and it's
Yeah.
like it's I don't know, it's kind of one of those things. Seth has seen it firsthand with me. It's like I try to reason with people, or you know, like I said, bridge that gap, and it's just it's tough, and it's
Yeah.
like
It can be tough
yeah,
sometimes, but I like racing too much to not watch
yeah.
it anymore. So yeah.
Yeah, it's it, but like you said, with Formula One, it's like they market it right, and you know,
Mhm.
young people get involved, and I think that's what we need because it's like
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
do all that. But yeah, cool. I appreciate you talking about that too.
Yep.
And it's
No problem.
yeah. Other than that, man, Seth, what you got?
That's about it. As long as
That's
that's all you got.
all right. Cool. Well, hey, Darian, I appreciate you coming on here and talking about everything, and I appreciate, you know, just your insight and what you do, man. I appreciate you coming on, man. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. And then also
Yeah.
too, don't be afraid to ask me again to come back on. Maybe we can do
Hell
like a
yeah.
season preview or something like
Yeah,
that, or
man.
yeah, I'm down for that. So
Look,
I
man,
appreciate it.
I'm trying to get this I'm trying to set up a show with David, and I want to talk about IndyCar and NASCAR, and I feel like you're a good person to bring on with that because I got some
Yeah,
arguments with David, and me and him are gonna have a lot of fun. I'd love to have you in on that. So
yeah. No, I like to be a part of that. That'd be
yeah,
cool.
for sure, for sure. Well, I appreciate you coming on, go to school and everything, and man, look, keep us updated on Nashville. Now you got your ear
Yep,
to the ground. I want to know.
yep, for sure, for sure. If I no, if I hear anything, I'll let you know
I
in the
appreciate
DMs for
it.
sure.
Yeah, yeah. Just slide in DMs will be all right. But hey, man, I appreciate it again. Thank you.
All right, thanks, man.
All right. Later, Darren.